Body out there. It's cold. Just got off work. Just got off work. Gonna give it a few to see if anyone gets on here. Oh, maybe I should use my AirPods. Today was a long day. Goodness. A very long day. And I wear a mask all day. It's like by the time I get off, my face is so happy to be not in the mask. It is 5:24 Eastern Time, and I am just trying to get home. And I have a bit of a headache, probably from I had a ponytail in my hair all day and a headband to keep my hair out of my face. It's time to let it out. Sorry if I look a mess. So I was trying to wait for someone to get in here because I have a story to tell about my job, and I really am curious, like what you guys think, like what your opinion is, like. I'm playing my hair entirely too much. That's why I was wearing the headband and the ponytail holder today, so I would stay out of it. Because I've always been like a person that like twists my hair, like even when I have like a short fro, I'm still twisting my hair, like twisting the little curls. I don't know why I do that, but I do. It's my little habit. So I'm gonna stay on here for a little bit to wait for people to pop in. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell the story. So, um, I work in a medical office, and um, it's specialty. So a lot of the specialists, there's always drug reps trying to sell them drugs or get them to, use their drugs or whatever. So um, they'll, if you're the nurse working with them or the assistant working with them, they will try to set like appointments for lunches. So they'll do a lunch, and during the lunch, like the provider and the assistants will, you know, eat, of course, and hear about the latest drug or the latest treatments or whatever. So we're used to having these. Um, Sometimes they're on the schedule, sometimes they're not. Like I have set up some where they didn't appear on the schedule. So, you know, it should be, in my opinion, always on the schedule because then there's no question about who it's for or what it's for or whatever. But anyway, long story short, Some food came the other day, and it was like it looked like it was pizza, but it wasn't. It was a bunch of boxes. So the boxes came, and let's just say that my office is in Suite 100. So when it came, the front desk, everyone was busy. Like I was a patient, other people with patients are doing whatever they're doing. It was a busy day. And the front desk was on the phone. Both people in the front desk were on the phone and dealing with patients in front of them. So the person came to deliver the food from one of the delivery companies. I'm not going to mention them, it's not important. But they came to deliver the food, and they're like, um, where do I put the food? The front desk just said, they pointed to the door, and the person delivered the food and put the food in the back. So, we're all doing our thing. And then the next thing I hear is, oh, there's food in the back. Well, I'm not eating any of that, any food other than what I bring. So I wasn't really like focusing on it. I didn't care. But I was asked, hey, is your provider doing a lunch today? And I was like, no, no one said anything about a lunch. Reps came earlier, but they weren't for a lunch. So they were like, oh, okay, cool. So then they were going to ask the other provider because there was only two providers there that day. So they're going to ask the other provider. So the provider, I don't know whatever happened because I didn't come back. But then the next thing I know, I see people walking around with the food. So I figured, oh, okay, so it was for the other provider. I didn't ask any questions because, like I said, I was busy and, whatever. So now I'm in the back and I'm talking to, because I'm like, in the back, I think I was getting my own lunch and eating or whatever. And um, then the front desk girl comes back and she's like, hey, like the food was not for us, it was for Suite 200. And they're like, they want their food. So I'm like, what? So we're all like, what? It said our suite on it. But meanwhile, a rep never showed up. Normally, the food will come, and then the rep will either meet the food there or come a few minutes later or come a few minutes before. But you'll see the rep. No rep showed up, but they grubbing. So then, so whoever the food was for was from Suite 200, and they came, like the whole group of them came, like, where's our food? So the front desk comes in the back and she's talking to one of the higher ups, and she's like, what do I do? Like they're asking for their food or whatever. So then one of my coworkers starts packing it up. She was like, oh well, here's the food right here. We didn't touch any of this. And I'm just like, dude, like I wouldn't touch that food had it already been there and people had already divvied some out. Like I don't want it now. So anyway, they were like talking to the front desk, and they're like, what are y'all gonna do or whatever. And then the front desk, and I didn't know this till later, but she's like, well, the food wasn't good anyway, so we saved y'all. I didn't know that was said. So anyway, it didn't end there. Like normally, if one of the delivery companies makes a mistake and delivers to the wrong place, um, you can contact them and they'll either reimburse you for your food, or they'll give you another order. They'll send you the same order. So um they left and then came back like mad, and had words with hello, and had words with the front desk again. And then the next day, they called the manager or the lead, and they were like, she wasn't in, but they were like, hey, what are you gonna do? We You guys ate our food, and the food was like $500. Meanwhile, the food was not $500. It was under $200. And then she was like, well, I wasn't there, and but when I go in tomorrow, I'll see what happened and I'll get back to you. Well, that wasn't good enough for her. Like she was pissed. So she contacted our corporate office. So they contacted corporate, and this thing was blown so far out of proportion. Come to find out, they reordered the food. So even though they came and had all that to say, they reordered the food delivery. So the food was delivered to them. Then they still went to our corporate office, and they told the corporate office $500. The corporate office, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that they reimbursed them $500 to get food or whatever. And then the corporate office said, we are no longer allowed to have lunches. So, all of that. So, I mean, all of this from not verifying if it was actually a lunch for us. So, my question is, do you think that that was ghetto? Like, do you think it was ghetto that no one checked and they just kind of dug in? Like, and then the front desk saying the food wasn't good anyway. We saved y'all. Like, do you think that was ghetto? I mean, it's kind of ghetto, but what do you think? Leave me a comment in the comments and let me know. And if has anything similar ever happened at like your job or that you know of? And in this situation, what would you have done? Like if you were the group that didn't get their food and you came to get it and found out that people had already dipped into it, like what would your response be to that? Like, oh boy. So yeah, so they labeled us ghetto, and they got reimbursed, and then basically my office got penalized, and now we can't do lunches anymore. I mean, this is bad to say, but I mean, the food the food choices aren't the best, and should we be eating that stuff? No. But it's just messed up to be reprimanded for something that was so easily verified, you know? But yeah, that's my little story. I didn't expect it to escalate to all of that, but if people feel like they have been wrong, they're going to do whatever they have to do to be made whole again. And that's what they felt they had to do. Go to corporate on us. And I say us because I work there, but oh boy. So yeah. And to this day, like I don't know what these people look like. I don't even know like what their office does. So yeah, that's the little drama.